I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I want to make this tape a quick one this morning. I was just listening to a video out of the UK, and the gentleman there became a council member, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, he was speaking of, he's been interviewed, of being allowed to go into a British underground supposed to be a very secret facility. And then he corrected himself, no, it was an American facility. Of course, this is what I've been telling you all, that when they kidnapped me in 41, and I'm Victoria II, heir to the British Crown, and I'm legal, and they took down my father, King Edward VIII, who married my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. He never married this bitch spy. A double married her, became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. When George, the illegal George VI, had kidnapped his own niece, take down his brother with nothing but lies, and I have to wonder about my grandmother Mary, Queen Mary. From my understanding, my mother wasn't good enough. Oh, excuse me, but you all can remove my father with nothing but lies, and with a whore, no doubt, American spy, Wallace Simpson with a double, and I wonder who he is. But I was listening to the video, and it kills me when I hear it. Knowing my father, such a beautiful man, that's why they took him down. And they used the double to make pictures, and they took them and printed them that were nothing but lies to discredit my father. And it was bought, hook, line, and sinker. Now here's a woman who has betrayed and lied and kept secrets. She will not tell the truth about my dad, that alone, and about me, and believe me, she does know. She does not want the secret told. They're money-hungry mongrels is exactly what they are. This is Georgia O'Keefe, my aunt, my mama Claudia. My mom and dad, I want to say this, were alive when I came to Roanoke in October of 86. And I'm going to say it again, I saw my mother briefly. I was allowed to at the downtown library. Remember, it was so cold, and I remember I didn't know it was her, and at first. And I walked up to her. Well, she had walked up to me first, but that's another. And I walked up to her, and I never kiss anyone, and I don't like for them to kiss me on the cheek, or kiss me. A hand might be different, but for some reason I kissed her on the cheek. And I started crying, and I thought, why did I do this? And I found out it was my mom. And this is my dad that you've lied about. And what people will do with it is, they'll, if they don't like what they're hearing, they'll say, oh, that's crazy, you Looney Tune. There's a woman pretending to be the daughter of King Edward VIII, which is a lie. I didn't know about her till recently. Emily Craig, and she's filed suit in the UK. If she's anybody's daughter, she belongs to the Imposter. And that's what I've been calling for the last few days. Dig him up. He died supposedly 92, 94. And, 72 and 74. And he was buried on Windsor Castle ground, I believe, and then Wallace was buried there also. They're frauds. There is no legal Duke and Duchess of Windsor. They're imposters. I've said, dig him up and make sure you got somebody there that's honest to cover it, because Anastasia was murdered in Charlottesville, right not too far from me here in Roanoke. Of course, I was driving through Charlottesville at the time she was murdered when I heard it. And she was murdered. They won't tell you that. But it's a horror. And she was Anastasia. So much money's involved in this. Anna was trying to reach my father. I've read about that back before they took my father down. And I quote her as, because he will help me. Anyway, this program that I was listening to this morning, the video, also stated, it was another one that I put up on the monarchy, and it makes it look so, I mean, all the pomp and wealth and everything, except it's not hers. They took down my father. I'm the legal heir. And this woman and her father, George, the illegal George VI, are so responsible for so much deaths and murders and pain and suffering. And they talk about Adolf Hitler. See, this is where people would get me. Maybe I was kidnapped and brought over here, brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of an illegitimate twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey, and I married at Childers. I have to use that name. And both twins were killed. Carl and Peggy Dempsey were killed by their mother, Lina. I've posted the videos with their pictures on it, and I won't get into that further. So I've been called bastard, illegitimate. I've had every dirty, filthy thing in the book done to me. It's one thing when you can wake up in the morning to what this woman wakes up to, and she's a fraud and a killer. Anyway, I'm getting away probably from more of what I wanted to say. My father, I'll say it again, was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. He was still alive, my dad was. Again, I'll say in November of '86 when I came here, I saw my mother briefly. She died a couple of months later. And I don't know about my father, but that's not him buried. This is an imposter that they had dying in 72 or 74 that's buried with Wallace Simpson, this American whore. I don't know another word to use. I hope the world hears and sees what they did to me and my family here, my two sons, and to my country, what's happening to it now. I'm listening to it, and it's horrifying. And then I've been telling people about the illegal treaties, that they're all illegal. Elizabeth is illegal, and so was George VI, her father. So anything signed by them is illegal. So the underground bases, any bases, Area 51, excuse me, unless you've walked in my shoes for 1 second. There's a Area 51 in Australia. So they have just run amok. They came supposed to be friends, and they took everything we had. They even took the monarch, me, installed their own. And I guess that's about it, except dig up the grave. They called me bastard. Can I do this on YouTube? They called me bastard growing up every day that I went to school, and illegitimate, and the world doesn't want to know what all they did to me, and I survived with the help of the Brits and Germans and a few Americans. So dig the bastard up and see who is. Just make sure they don't cover it up like they did Anastasia's. That was Anastasia. And this is me.